Mr. Park.
What's up, dude?
Yes, it's great to have you back on the channel. So I want to talk to you about taking classes with other people. Over the weekend, you took a class with my friend and yours, Mr. Mason Lane.
Indeed, I did.
Okay, so first off, you're already an instructor. You already shoot okay. Why are you going to classes?
Well, there's, I guess, two sides of the coin, or two motivations for me to go. One is, yeah, I'm okay at shooting and I'm okay at teaching. Both could always be better. And I'm not necessarily a proud man. So if Mason has some really good ideas, I'm like, hey, we'll just steal that. Or I like the way he explained this, or I like this sequencing of drills, whatever. I'm happy to, I'm not emotional about any of this stuff. I would gladly change the order of drills and the way I explain it tomorrow if there was a better way to do it.
All right, so I have an interesting statement to make for you here, and I want you to react to it. I was telling somebody the other day, like, I am not creative. I'm not a creative person as far as like inventing things or whatever. I'm good at recognizing a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily come up with all the good ideas, not very many. So let's apply that to shooting instruction. This means that I have to go get ideas from somewhere.
Yeah, dude, 100%. Or we have Juanchik come up with all the smart ideas for us to.
He comes up with it. Yeah. He comes up with a lot of wazoo shit, but it's just like
confirmation. I'm like, oh, I love that. Like, that's a banger. We're gonna use that.
That's a great idea. So I think a lot of times people have a hard time with that. Like, most of the instructors that I know are not interested in. Hell, I've met guys that work at a place where they get free ammo, and all they have to do is teach, certain times of the day or whatever, and they do not avail themselves of the free ammo. That to me is a little bit strange.
I'd be wearing out guns left and right.
Yes, I think a lot of people don't have much of an interest in being better, but for us, for me and you, it's been very good to go to other people's classes.
Yeah. Well, It's also helpful just to have another set of eyes on your shooting. For example, you and Juanchik came and taught a class at my range, stayed at my house, a class I regularly teach, and having you just look at my shooting. Hey, there's some things I think I'm really strong and squared away at. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to have you and Kim watch me shoot to see if you say the same thing. Or there's an area that I think could be better, or a specific type of shooting or whatever. Like, yeah, I think this needs some work. I'm just going to see if you guys say the same thing to validate the way I've evaluated my own shooting and the way I see things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So that's been kind of our process. I try to go I will go to an in-person class with pretty much anyone, provided it's not going to be a disruption,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of times me showing up would be kind of disruptive, and I don't really want to do that.
Of course not.
Yeah. So you did the Mason Lane class. Have you posted the? Yeah, you have. You posted.
Oddly enough, I have. The whole thing is available in training group. Yeah.
Yeah. So for training group members, you go to training group, go to the class videos, full class videos. Yes, the one at the very top is the Mason Lane Gun Skills 2 class.
Yeah, pstg.us.
So I should just tell people, like, in there's a lot of other classes we've got. Mason Lane, obviously a lot of Ben, Joel, and Juanchik classes. There's an X-Ray Alpha class, a Tim Herron class. I'm scrolling down here. It's just like
Scott Jedlinski, a Modern Samurai class.
Yep.
Andreas Yankopoulos, I think, has a class in there. We have
right, and then in the instructor blocks from Summit is a bunch of other people, right?
Mm-hmm. So there's probably a dozen different people probably in there.
As I check back going through here, there's like Lane Grease, John Anderson, Rob Epifania, Steve Newell, Malin Hall, Tyler Turner. Yeah, there's quite a few. Oh, Fabio, yeah, my own defender, and Tanfo Timmy. Yeah, look at that.
Our friend Jason
Bradley. Yes. So we have footage from quite a lot of instructors, and it's always amazing to me. It's just like, I will see somebody say or do something that I find really interesting. My big thing that I'm interested in Mason's class, I really liked. Well, maybe like's the wrong way. I was very curious. I was interested. Just the opening up the class, doing doubles, but doing it reacting to a beep, kind of adding in another element to make it. I think that makes it a lot harder the way he's doing it.
Yeah.
Makes it a lot harder. So I thought that was interesting to start a class that way, and I might try something similar.
An interesting twist also was he does the doubles drill, but while you're off balanced. So if you're on a lean or a low port while still trying to do that rapid aggressive shooting, while you're a little bit not off balance or not just perfectly standing up straight with your perfect grip, that drill was way tougher too, and that reveals a lot of deficiencies.
Well, I think just doing that, and I don't think you articulated it this way, but you just really understand what predictive shooting really means, right? And then you understand what it's not, where you start to get off balance and you're like trying to shoot and make the same stuff happen. It's like, oh, it's just gonna, I'm with you. It's gonna punch you in the face and show you, show you what's what. So very interesting takeaway. So from the Mason Lane class, at least as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely. But I'm curious, how many people do you think actually actively seek out as far as instructors? How many of them actually actively seek this stuff out?
It'd be tough for me to speculate. I don't talk to them.
I don't think you'd really be speculating, though.
I talk to a lot of people, and there's a very small percentage that are really interested in what everyone else is doing. Well, how about this, Ben? If we have somebody in class and they're really fixated on prep and press, we could probably take an educated guess to know where that came from.
If it's a competition class and they're fixated on prep and press.
Yeah, you know where that probably came from. What if they're
where they start talking about like, 80-10.
Wave. Yeah.
If they're like, I need to do a wave draw. If they say, hey, I'm just going to shoot this stage in speed mode here.
Yes, a control and attack. Like these different, like I could just hear these terms like, okay, I know probably where, and it's just for my own information. I'll know kind of where that came from, how it was likely delivered. I've seen clips of these instructors online. So
I think it does help you really, it helps you really understand where people are coming from. If you have, looked at the same instructional material that they're trained in, it really helps you understand. Like a good example is like, if we go do a law enforcement class, it's very helpful to understand like what a normal law enforcement academy, like as far as the firearms training, like what it is they were likely shown and what that needs to look like for them and all that stuff. So if you understand that, I think it helps you communicate with them a lot better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, or it's like, if we're training military guys, yes, it's helpful to have as much information as possible about how they're trained and like what the expectations are. And like I don't know, you're kind of new to the military training, right? Your first thing was what, like last year?
Yep. And I've got a police department thing I'm doing, later, I guess next month, but.
I think that's the thing that was the best for me with the law enforcement, military, and international training is each of those kind of venues. It's a different in terms of how it's set up and like what the culture is and how people are trained. And I think you learn a lot. It makes you a lot better.
Dude, absolutely.
Yes.
Well, how about this? In class regularly, obviously we field a lot of questions on the fly. Someone can ask a question and just spitting out the correct answer doesn't really necessarily tell the whole tale because there's a thought process in their brain. That's what made them ask that question. And so understanding kind of where that comes from and explaining it more in the way of just like, nope, this is how you do it. Like, what's the next question? That doesn't really do the trick, right?
Maybe you'll find this interesting. It jumped out at me. I got a bunch, maybe a bunch or maybe one, but there was some comments, like some guy was like shocked that I posted a video of a 2-position drill. So this guy's moving from point A to point B, emphasizing, hey, I want you to get into position properly and shoot and shoot these targets here, do it like this, whatever. And my focus was on, how the movement I wanted to look going in there, having their gun up, being ready to go, start shooting when the sights tell them, all that stuff. Yeah. And then one guy in the comments was one guy in the class asked like, hey, what should I do with my footwork? Like this foot first, that foot first. It was that type of question. And I just in the class, I was just like, yep, I don't even want you worried about that. I want you worried about this. this stuff over here. And somebody in the comments thought that was madness. They thought it was crazy. What's your reaction to that, Joel?
No, I mean, Ben, if I told you to walk out right now in your garage and get in your car, you wouldn't be like, should I use my left foot or right foot? I'd be like, dude, you've been walking your whole life. I'm pretty sure you can figure it out. Just go walk out and get in your car. It'll be fine. So like people get really spun up in the details on the dumbest things that really like detract or divert them from what you really want them to be focusing on. So you can sometimes save people a bit by like, nope, don't worry about that. It'll be fine. Put all your attention on your grip, your vision, like whatever the drill is, but really directing where people put their focus.
Yeah, I mean, that comes off as madness to people because I think people don't really do it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like most instructors, it's like they'll have the conversation as much as you want. So if some guy's like talking about the nuances of thumb position on their, like people will talk about that for hours, and it always kind of amazes me. I had some guys on training group, I think, were telling me like, oh, I changed my draw. Like I used to do like a conventional draw, like what you're doing, and now it's like a half scoop draw. And then I watched the guy on video, and it's like I cannot tell what he's doing. Like, what are you talking about? And it's just like this does not look different to me. It's like this is where people get so wrapped up in nuance. It's like I think they get really lost in the sauce.
How about this? Like the underside of the support guard or the trigger guard. Some people be like, hey, I want my hand a little bit up here, and I want maybe a little bit down here. I'm like, yeah, like any of these, like I don't really care.
I don't think that's really gonna matter, man. Like,
no, let's talk about the pressures that you're using, the contact you have with the pistol. Like whatever, just knock yourself out, man. Like if you're doing something crazy, then of course, it warrants discussion. But otherwise, little nuanced stuff's like, nope, big picture, put your focus on the pressures you're using. Yeah. But yes, that seems crazy.
It's unconventional for people. So one more thing I want to get your read on. I put up that video of the gun going off in a holster a few days ago. In the aftermath, there's been lots of discussion of the gun, the holsters. And then me being me, I was just like, okay, let's start expanding our thinking here. So maybe the holster's an issue here, but are there lawsuits from like Milwaukee PD? Like, let's look at their holsters too. And then guys are looking at that stuff and you're like, those holsters I think those are a different series. Like it doesn't look like it's the same. I mean, it's very interesting to watch this play out. Where do you think this is going to end up, Joel?
I don't know. Probably operator error is always where the conclusion goes, right?
Probably. I don't know. It's a lot of people don't like that. I'll just post something with no context.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's the best thing. Just put up the raw information, hey, there's a video of this gun going off in a holster, and just let the internet do its thing, because you're going to get to the truth fast.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, definitely have my attention if that was the gun I carried. So,
I mean, this is for me. Like, I don't work for SIG or for a police agency. I give no fucks really about any of this. It's just I just like watching it play out. I just like watching the chaos.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see anybody hurt, obviously.
But no, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But thankfully that didn't happen in that case. But
yeah,
dude,
it's pretty crazy.
Joel, anything people should be on the lookout for coming from you?
Professor Kim and I it'll be a good topic for another video. Professor Kim and I are going to Area 3, which is a USPSA match. It would be, what's the way to say it, Ben? Like a 6-state, maybe like championship like style match. We'll be proofing the stages, which will be good. So
yes,
for good conversation.
Yes,
Professor will also.
So you're going to an area match and you're going to walk through the stages and proof them?
Yes.
All right. So here's my question: are you checking for safety or design or both?
Everything. So we're looking at. So in my opinion, when you walk, when you walk on the stage, when you're inside the shooting area, any target you could see, you should be able to shoot it from there.
Isn't that a rule?
I don't know. It's not always followed. So
no, that's where the most ignored rule in USPSA.
It is. So just checking for stuff, because you don't want anybody to get disqualified. That's stupid. So you try to basically save people from themselves. So everything is safe. Just motoring around. If you see the target, you're okay to shoot it. Yeah, looking for pass-throughs, looking for being a former low cap shooter to make sure the arrays are set up where you can't just stand in one spot and just pop, 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 just like shoot the whole way across everything. You have
I don't
to
understand why high cap shooters like that. I don't understand why anyone likes that, honestly.
I don't know. So anyway, it'll be set where you can only in a position, you can only see 2, 3, maybe 4 targets, something like that. Then you have to move. So, make for dynamic shooting. And anyway, that'll be the plan. So between Kim and I, it was really nice. Scott Arnberg, the area director, asked if we could do that. Like, yep, happy to do it.
When does that go down? When are you doing that?
It'll be a week from next week. No, 2 weeks. The area match is the 11th through 13th.
Yeah.
And I'll be there either Wednesday or Thursday before the match. So before staff can start shooting.
So I think we should revisit that topic a couple days before you do it and talk about all the stuff you're going to be looking for.
Yeah.
And then I hope the people that go to Area 3, they can grade you on the kind of job they think you did.
Exactly. Almost one little thing. I mean, nobody's perfect, but it's nice that Scott's interested in feedback and trying to make the match as good as it can be.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mr. Park.
It was a real banger.
This is a great talk. I would be curious. People put it in the comments. Anything else you want to hear from Joel on? Probably nothing. Probably people are tired of you.
I would be tired of me too.
I know. I'm so tired of you.